Hello everyone, good afternoon. Welcome to our Institution of Global Professional Free Webinar. Thank you all for joining and stay with us till the end. My lovely audience, today I am your host for the evening. My name is Yarni Akhtar and I am from Bangladesh. Dear audience, I am proud to be associated with IGP as a global member. I feel honored and privileged to host this webinar. It's my delight to welcome you all our Institution of Global Professional Free Webinars. Thank you all for joining us today in this marvelous afternoon. And it's my humble request to you and pleasure to all of you stay with us till the end. Uh, don't forget to tag, share, and mention your friends. Now we'll start our webinar. Uh, Today our webinar number is 1049 and the topic is the exceptional speaker. And today we have our speaker. Our speaker name is Algini Madi Guzman. He's from Philippines. He's a director of research, planning and learning innovation, West Bay College area, Sir Alba Martinez City, Assistant Professional Lecturer from Polytechnical University of the Philippines, College of Arts and Letters, Mesa Manila City. So now we welcome our speaker. Let's welcome our speaker. Hello, sir. Good
Hello, good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you,
Good
sir?
I'm doing great, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. Welcome in our webinar. Sir, first you have to give some description about yourself. Then you can start your presentation.
All right, so I am Dr. Algin Mate de Guzman, and I am an assistant professorial lecturer of the Polytechnic University of the Philippines. My field of specialty would be English language and literature. I am at present teaching uh, technical writing, stylistics, and of course, purposive communication. And this is why I am sharing to everyone right now my knowledge about the exceptional speaker.
Okay,
So, may
sir.
I begin my presentation?
Yes, you can present your presentation.
Thank you very much. Allow me to share my screen to everyone.
Uh, yeah, sir, you can start.
All right, again, good afternoon. So, allow me to present to everyone my topic for this afternoon's webinar, the exceptional speaker. So, first, let me begin with uh, this quote from John Adair, and he said, effective communication is the most important skill of all. Again, effective communication is the most important management skill of all. I believe firmly that as communicators, as effective speakers, as exceptional speakers, we would need to pretty much be able to communicate effectively so that we would be able to manage ourselves effectively, no, particularly with those, of course, our audience. All right. And for today, I will be having these objectives for you. First, deepen your understanding about public speaking. Second, determine reasons to become a public speaker. And third, discuss attributes of an exceptional speaker. So let me begin my discussion with a question. What is public speaking? Okay. Public speaking is the formal communication method where one uses the medium of speech to a group of listeners. So apparently, this was actually changed from formal communication being face to face to simply being formal communication as a method. The reason being is, excuse me, the reason being is that, of course, we now, as the pandemic has came about, no, we tend to change the mode of our communication. No? Particularly not only having it face to face, but also having it on the internet using cyberspace. Hence, we make public speaking not only by face to face, but also even in the cyber community. So, regardless of our platform, as long as we do formal communication as our medium to speak to the public, then it is public speaking. All right? Additionally, in public speaking, the information is purposeful and meant to inform, influence, or entertain a group of listeners known as the audience. So definitely, if you are engaged into public speaking, you would have to know as a speaker what your purpose is. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, it must be clear to you why you indulge yourself, no, or involve yourself into a speaking engagement. Is it that you would want to inform, like I am doing with you today? Or is it to influence people, like I would want to do with you today? Or probably to entertain your audience? Like what you would want to probably do if you are invited as a speaker, say, in a wedding reception. No? So, this would be the things that you may do to utilize yourself as an exceptional public speaker. Now, we have to keep calm and do public speaking. Why become a public speaker? Before I continue, may I just ask my audience right now, no, from everywhere in the globe, no, using our live chat, could you please tell me if you are already a public speaker? Just say yes, I am. If not, say no, I am not yet. All right? Could you do that for me? Thank you very much. So why do you want to actually become a public speaker? No? First, we all need to publicly speak, all right, at some point of our professional career. It will be inevitable, ladies and gentlemen, that we are to be tasked to address the public. And that being said, we will have to, again, inevitably become a public speaker. All right? Of course, we as professionals dream to be somebody someday. We work our ways up to the ladder of success. Hence, as we go about our journey as professionals, no, it would also increase our potential and the possibility of us becoming a public speaker. No? As we go about increasing or as we go about uh, giving ourselves a chance to be better, no, in our profession, we cannot anymore avoid the fact that we would sooner or later address the public. Okay? So, next, why become a public speaker? Because we have to have a platform where we can share our technical know how in an impressive and interesting fashion. So, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that, ladies and gentlemen? By saying so, what I'm trying to relate here is that uh, we would all need to have, no, a platform, a springboard that would allow us, no, to reach out to people. No. It is like saying we would need to have an outlet so that we would be able to reach the masses. And through public speaking, through becoming a public speaker, we are able to do so. Okay? Now, the good thing about becoming a public speaker is that you just do not simply talk about your technical know how. You provide your technical know how in an interesting and impressive fashion. Meaning to say, you are challenged not to be monotonous, not to sound boring, not to appear as if you aren't prepared or you are too nervous, but rather you appear to be someone who knows what he or she is talking about. All right? Next, why become a public speaker? Because it is a great way to exhibit our skill sets and our expertise. Needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, we all have our unique skill sets. Of course, this would now depend on the areas of expertise that we have. You may be in the field of business, of education, or probably in the field of social science, no? And regardless of the field, no, you would of course need to let other people know, no? You would want to exhibit your expertise so that uh, you would be more marketable. Okay, remember that we are in our profession, all right, because we would want to market and have more clients and have more work, right? So at the end of the day, we would want to have that platform for us to be able to let other people know what we can do, what we can provide, what we could be of service. And by being a public speaker, by becoming a public speaker, we are given that opportunity to let other people know what we can best do for them. This is our way, no, our channel of reaching them out and letting them know how we would be able to help them, to assist them, no, to share with them our experiences, our knowledge, and of course, as said here, our expertise. All right? It increases our self confidence, self esteem, and self worth. I have encountered a lot of newbie public speakers who, of course, at first, like I was, no, was really not that confident, no, with a sort of a low self-esteem and probably also experiences a low self-worth. But because they have engaged themselves with public speaking, that uh, they have found a way, they have found uh, a channel for them to better themselves, to improve and hone their skills. By becoming a public speaker, we tend to consciously and unconsciously increase our level of confidence. We tend to believe more of what we can do. We see our potentials. We tend to believe more that we can actually deliver. For those of you who are watching me right now, can I ask, no, how confident are you on a scale of 1 to 10? On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you right now as a public speaker? Could you put it on our live chat? I'll wait for it. Thank you. it also enables us to create a fan base of supporters. No? Admittedly, as we go about reaching other people, no, there would always be that one person who would truly be engaged, no, who would truly feel that connection with us as we go about delivering our speech. And that being said, no, that one person, no, becomes a supporter, becomes, well, hopefully a fan, no, who would follow us, who would support us of our speaking endeavors, and eventually who would, by word of mouth, market us as public speakers. No? It is in this manner that I was able to penetrate uh, one of the government agencies here in the Philippines, no? Because apparently one of the employees of a government agency here was able to attend a seminar where I was a speaker. No? That she then invited me to take part in one of their career talks, no? In one such as this. And from one webinar, no, to another hybrid, and well, at the moment I am now one of their quote unquote resident resource persons, no? And because uh, as I would like to see it, I improve on a day-to-day basis, no? And because of that, no, I tend to have more and more supporters, no? And they would, no, invite me if they feel that the topic suits me, no? And if you become a speaker, if you become a public speaker, this of course would be one of the benefits that you would very soon realize. Okay? Next, our critical thinking skills and listening skills would sharpen by making claims, no? Presenting evidences, and of course, reason out logically. No? Again, this is an unconscious development on our part because now that we are involved in public speaking, now that we are public speakers, no, as we go about with our spiel, with our explanation of whatever topic it is that that we are talking about, no, it tends to hone our way of thinking, no, and since it sharpens our brilliance, no, as creative and critical thinkers, it also allows us to present better. It also allows us to tie our experiences with the topics and the subtopics that we discuss. No? And of course, evidently, we now become more logical in our reasoning, no? Particularly during the question and answer portions, no, of speaking engagements. Okay? Of course, it enhances our careers as educators, no? As we develop research techniques and organizational strategies and, well, creative thinking. You know? Needless to say, of course, as a public speaker, you would need to always search for what is new, okay? What is the trend, what is up to date. You cannot allow yourself to be a day late in terms of information. No? And with that said, of course, you would improve your manner of researching. So your research techniques would pretty much improve because you would be continuously searching for developments in your particular field and in your particular area of expertise. Now, apart from that, of course, you would also be able to develop organizational strategies, particularly in organizing your presentations. Okay? And of course, you would uh, you would also be able to increase creative thinking. No? You would want to find new ways and means on how to deliver, say, a lecture that you have been delivering for quite some time now. No? So, with creative thinking, no, you would be able to provide your lectures or perform and deliver your lectures as if they were your first lecture. No? Because you would still have that level of enthusiasm with you, level of excitement with you. No? That would, of course, really hook and engage your audience. Okay? And of course, it will, uh, as a side perks, no, provide us added income opportunities. No? Uh, One of the many sources of my bread and butter would be public speaking. No? And that is also the reason why I share my knowledge in public speaking for free. No? Because I know for a fact that this would tend to help people not only creatively, not only intellectually and academically, but also financially. No? Apart, of course, from uh, widening your social network. All right? That being said, would you want an income opportunity through public speaking? Could you type in a yes if you do, with, of course, an exclamation point? All right? Now, to become an exceptional speaker, you must learn first and foremost to open up. And what do I mean by open up? This means that as speakers, we must be, well, organized, passionate, engaging, and natural. And of course, we must understand our audience in practice, practice, and practice. Let me first talk about being organized. O is for organized. Okay. So when we talk about organized, okay, first we try to develop a structure. Okay. And uh, developing a structure would mean knowing and identifying relevant materials. Developing a structure would demand for us the ability to create smooth transitions. And finally, developing a structure, no, in organization would demand us of having a very strong finish. We also need to sound organized. And how would that be so? First, to sound organized, no, we have to tell our audience what we are going to tell our audience. And then we tell our audience what we are supposed to tell our audience. And finally, we tell our audience what we have told them. So we tell them what we will tell them, and then tell them, and finally tell them what we have told them. We also need to look organized. That means we would need to project a physical uh, attribute of being organized. No? Establish eye contact, regardless if it's face to face, hybrid, or through the internet. No? You try to still establish that eye contact with you, or with your audience, rather. If need be, stand straight, or if not, sit straight. And never, ever forget to smile. Remember, people, smile is contagious. So, by smiling, you tend to affect your audience positively. And of course, finally, we would need to consider components. Okay? So what are these components? We would need to know and understand our audience's motivation. We would need to determine our own sets of objectives and purposes. And we, of course, would want to know the objectives of our audience. Why are they even attending our webinar or our seminar or conference? No? Why are they there? We would also need to consider components such as that of issues, situations, positions, and concerns. Not to mention, of course, results and action plans. This, ladies and gentlemen, is how we, as an exceptional speaker, can be organized. Okay? Next, passion. P is for passion. We would want to feel passionate. Okay? We try to understand why we are even speaking. It needs to be very clear with us as speakers. Why are we even speaking? And then we try to appreciate the opportunity to speak before our audience. Not everyone is being given the chance. And this is why I am always thankful for IGP, for always allowing me to share the little of what I know, the experiences that I have had, and believe in the reason why we are speaking. And I believe someone out there listening to me right now would want to be the exceptional speaker, would want to be that exceptional speaker, and is listening to me intently right now. And that person, you actually believe that you would be that exceptional speaker you would want to become, and that you believe for every reason why you would want to become such. Okay? Next, you have to look passionate. You have to dress more than your audience. As they say, we have to dress the occasion. We have to wear the dress that fits the occasion. Hence, we tend to become more formal. Then, we have to mind our posture. Like, right now I am sitting, but I am not slouching. And the reason being is that I am, at the back of my head, it is telling me to always sit straight. To be more formal than casual in my manner of seating. And then, of course, you try to consider your gestures. Especially if it's face-to-face. the movements of your hands. Gestures can make or break your speeches. The reason being, of course, is that 80% of the time, speeches are tend to become more compelling because of those gestures and not because of the words you use. No? So regardless of the words, if your gesture seems to be compelling, it tends to deliver a look that is very, very passionate. And then you try to sound passionate. And how do we sound passionate? No, that's the question. How do we sound passionate? First, of course, you would need to know how to control your voice. You would need to know how to soften it, how to make it loud, and when to make it loud and soft, when to make it as if it's trying to impress upon something. You try to control emphasis. No? Hence, try to emphasize with inflections. And of course, never forget to be mindful of how you take your time. Don't be in such a hurry, but don't tend to relax too much. By being aware of the time you spend in your discussion, you become more aware of what you would want to share. Hence, you sound more you sound more passionate about it. Okay? Open. Next is E. And E is for engaging. And how do we engage with our audience? First, begin with strong openings. All right? Of course, you could use a lot of things here. You could use a quotation. You could probably begin with a statistical data, or even a question if you feel like giving your audience a question. You may also begin with current news. If need be, of course, this would now be dependent on the speech that you would be providing, an acknowledgement. And if your speech would tend to want to entertain people, why not try starting with humor? All these are strong openings. All you need to do now is to actually try to look for what fits best the occasion of your speech. All right? Then we move forward to speak to the interest of our audience. That being said, I believe that all of you who are watching me right now are interested with the topic of how one can actually become an exceptional speaker. We would want to know how to become an exceptional speaker. Hence, this is our interest. And so, with that in mind, we would want to share what is supposed to be expected by our audience. Because, as a matter of fact, people do not actually care so much about how much we know. Until, of course, they tend to figure out how much we care. All right? So regardless of how much or how wide and deep your knowledge is about a particular topic, no? If your audience feel that you are insincere, no? That you do not care as much as they do with that particular topic, let me tell you, in all honesty, you will not be able to engage them. Because it is only and only when they feel you care that they would care about what you are actually saying. You may also want to use stories, anecdotes, and of course, examples. This would be stories that would bring presentations to life. Include probably your best practices. Or you could even include stories of how you failed and how you have managed to turn that failure into success. To show your audience the quote unquote learning that you actually encapsulated with that particular event in your life. By sharing your stories, you are able to connect with your audience. I started out as a fan of several speakers here in the Philippines. I started out by watching the people I believe were the best examples. The people who I feel are the exceptional speakers. I took note of how they deliver. And if given the chance, I tend to ask them questions until such time that I am already beginning to see myself as a speaker too. I did not just wake up one morning and, hey, I want to become a speaker. It wasn't that easy. No, no, sir. Not really. I started out watching people do and perform one of the dreams that I have. The dream I am living right now. Okay? Of course, never forget to connect through eye contact. Regardless of the platform, be it in cyberspace or face to face. Nothing can ever replace the reflection of sincerity your eyes brings to your audience. Hence, you must learn how to look into the eyes of your audience regardless of where they are at. Even if they are sitting right at the last part or at the very end of the auditorium, regardless if they are sitting at the comfort of their home, at the other part of the world, regardless, look into their eyes, speak to them with all sincerity, let them know you are looking at them. Did you just feel I was looking at you? If yes, can you type in our chat box? Yes. Thank you. I'd appreciate that. And finally, of course, let us never forget to smile. As I have made mention earlier, smile is really contagious. Smile makes everything positive, regardless of the situation. Smile lightens up the world. So regardless of the weight of your topic, say you are an engineer or you are a space scientist and that you are to explain a very difficult topic, People would tend to lighten up if you give them that smile. No? Because by sharing that smile, ladies and gentlemen, you do not only share a smile, but you share a piece of you, the human side of you, saying, it's okay. I understand. I'm here. That's why I'm here. I'll help you through this. Don't worry, I'll share what I know. That smile, let me tell you, it will work wonders. Okay? Moving ahead, we now go to letter N. N is for natural. Okay? Be yourself. Oh, by the way, thank you for those who are commenting. No? Thank you for typing in yes. I appreciate it so much. Now, be yourself. No one style is that perfect. That's the truth. No? No one style is perfect. No speaker is the same. So all you need to do is to be yourself. No, you do not have to imitate others. You may have someone who you believe is the epitome of public speaking, and that's okay. Okay? But you need to develop your own style. And eventually, that style will grow in you. Okay? You do not have to fit in anybody's shoes. Your shoe size is perfect the way it is. Okay? You are at your best when you are yourself. So never try to pretend that you are somebody else, because that would not really work. That would actually, most of the time, hurt you in your speaking career. Because, of course, if you are pretending to be someone that is pretty much far from who you really are, eventually, you would you would you would tend to separate yourself from that persona. You would tend to grow tired doing that. So it is best that when you do start your career, or if you have started your career, or if you do want to improve your career and become an exceptional speaker, start by being yourself. And then be conversational. Try to sound lively, enthusiastic, and fun. Don't be too serious, especially if your topic is too serious already. You're putting more weight into an obviously heavy topic already. Please don't be that speaker. Don't be that kind of speaker. And don't sound as if you have memorized the entire script. Okay? And I am not saying it's bad to use a script, no. But what I am saying is that you may have a script, but the script that you actually will utilize is the script that would come from the heart. The script that you probably would make in your next presentations would be those that would guide you as you go about discussing. But the real script that you would share with people would be that script that grew from the heart, that speaks your mind. That, ladies and gentlemen, is never stiff and never canned. Okay? And, well, of course, you should never be overly conscious about everything. Okay? As we have made mention earlier, nobody is actually perfect. You can be exceptional even if you are not perfect. Okay? You can still be exceptional even if you are not perfect. You are perfect just the way you are. So so don't be over conscious about everything. Okay? Because if you stick to being so mindful of everything, one little snap and you might just break down, fall into pieces, and forget everything that you would want to share just because. Okay? And third, no, on the list would be, as mentioned here, be effortless. So what do we mean by being effortless? This means that you would want to be, or that you would want to sound as if it is second nature to you, no? That you are discussing without difficulty, that the topic to you is like is so familiar, you could talk about it even if you are, even if you just woke up. Okay, that to me is what effortless means. Well, of course, it is not saying that uh, you would not take your topic seriously. No, sir. No, I'm not saying that. No. But what I am saying is that you try to be, you try to appear and sound and act as natural as possible. Don't be too stiff. Don't be too hard on yourself. I mean, if you have forgotten something, a word perhaps while you were discussing, it's all right. People tend to forget a thing or two, even if they are spontaneous, even if they are intelligent. That's all right. That's being natural. Uh, I don't see any problem with that. Okay? Of course, this would lessen as you go about uh, exposing yourself to speaking engagements, as you go about practicing your craft as a speaker, no? And eventually, public speaking would be second nature to you. Okay? So, regardless now of when and where the speaking engagement will happen, no, to you it will be, well, natural, hence effortless. Okay? Then let's move forward to, okay, did my PowerPoint. Okay. You is understand your audience. You need to identify with them. You bring yourself closer to your audience by sharing with them your experiences. This will be one of the many ways that you will help them identify with you. You presenting yourself as someone who's perfect and ideal and so knowledgeable about things would probably create a gap between you and your audience. It would be good, of course, for you to express that you have your level of expertise with you, but at the same time, you let them know that you are just like them. That one day in your past, you were actually asking the very same questions as they have been asking themselves. Okay? Next, note their concerns. One of the many things that I have constantly practiced, as an exceptional speaker is to get feedback, is to read feedback, and to take to heart the feedback of my audience regardless. Especially when I was starting, there were more negative feedback than positive ones. And that's in all honesty. But as I go about exposing myself to public speaking engagement, I tend to get higher scores, and eventually, no, I tend to become better and better. And well, no, with all humility, let me just make mention. Last week, I was awarded with an excellence award as a resource person for the government agency I was telling you about. The reason being, I got I got very high scores in the feedback of all my audiences across all the webinars I have with them. No? And that seems to tell me that I am doing something right. No? Taking into account their concerns, your audience's concerns, will make you better. And this is why I was actually asking everyone. No? No? Give me your answers, type in yes. No? What do you say about this? And so on. Because these concerns create for me an idea of how I can actually better myself and my skill as a speaker. And then you try to speak for your audience. You are not only a speaker who speaks for yourself and for the knowledge and expertise that you have. No, ma'am, no, sir, definitely not. You are a speaker also for your audience. And what I mean by this is that you become your audience's voice. If you know for a fact that this particular topic right here is, say, questionable, and you are indeed questioning it, no? Not just because of the purpose of, well, presenting an uh, uh, an unrealistic and idealistic vision that you would negate your own uh, perception of the topic. That should not be the case. We all have our opinions, no? And our hypotheses of different matters. With that in mind, no? If we believe that this particular topic needs more conscious and cautious efforts for you to share with your audience, then so be it. Let your audience's voice be heard through you. I mean, how many of us here actually experience stopping right at the middle of our presentation because, well, we experienced mental block? How many of us here? I mean, I did. In one of the many public speaking engagements that I have had, I did. I seem to be lost of words. And so you will find out that, hey, my audience actually had the very same experience. This, ladies and gentlemen, allows your audience to feel that they are understood, that you, in fact, understand them. Okay? Next, P is for practice. And I cannot, as I would always say, take the shortcut. Practice, practice, some more practice, and then you practice again for the last time. So regardless whether your presentation, your script, or your notes, seem to be malfunctioning, or is not being in tune with you at the moment, you still would be able to deliver because you know your presentation, your topic, your discussion by heart, mind, and soul. This is why we practice. This is why we would want to continuously practice, because we would want to deliver better. All right? That being said, first, to become an exceptional speaker, we would need to open up. And then we go to the next question. What makes an exceptional public speaker? Type in your answers. What do you think, no? What do you think makes an exceptional public speaker? One word. No? Give me one word that you feel is necessary for a public speaker to have. No? What attributes would those be? Just one. Of the many things that you could probably think about, no? Type in one that you feel can make an exceptional speaker. All right. Nicomedes Lumontad says, prepared. Thank you very much. What else? How about the rest of you guys? Anything else? Huh? I don't want to put you on hold right there, so let me share this with you. Confidence. Okay, I think my PowerPoint presentation just hanged up. Alrighty, be yourself. Confidence. Wow. All right, just give me a second here as my PowerPoint. There you go. Here are the attributes of an effective speaker: knowledge, integrity, skill, self confidence, eloquence, and self worth. Okay, and let me go run through them very quickly. Knowledge. Now, the first attribute is knowledge. So, what do we mean when we speak of knowledge? You, as a speaker, must have more than the expected knowledge of the topic you will be presenting. In most often than not cases, ladies and gentlemen, and I think you would agree with me on this one, that when you are a speaker, there are those, of course, who would be attending the speaking engagement with probably the knowledge about the topic that you are prepared to discuss, right? And with that being said, of course, it is but right for you to not only have the basic knowledge of that particular topic. Okay? What you should have would be more than the expected knowledge of the topic that you would be presenting. More because there would be those, again, there would be those who might attend and know the topic that you are about to discuss. So you have to prepare for these people. You would need to prepare for those who already have, for those who have come prepared for your lecture. You don't, of course, want to lose their attention simply because what you are sharing with them would be things that they already know. And even if they do know the things that you already know, what you should have, the knowledge of the experiences that you can bring, that spells all the difference. So the knowledge you gained through the experiences related to the topic you are discussing could actually be your saving grace. All right? And this is one of the many reasons why, if I am given a topic or if I am requested of a topic, I would always first contemplate if my experience on that particular topic would be more than enough for me to sustain my discussion. Because if that would not be a yes, it's more than enough, then I might opt to beg off becoming the speaker of that particular topic. Okay? Because I would feel less confident. So, that being said, of course, no, since my level of confidence would be triggered by my level of knowledge, I would rather have more than enough knowledge because that definitely would boost my level of confidence. Okay? Next, integrity. You should always be honest and sincere. Always. Okay? You should always be honest and sincere always. This is, as a classroom teacher, as a tertiary lecturer, a college professor, as a public speaker, I would always bring with me my stories. Okay? Regardless of how low or how high my stories are, in terms of the many factors, I always bring them in with me. Okay? If like I am talking to my students in the state university, I would always tell them that your professor, the professor you are looking at right now, actually was able to work, no, while he was studying in college. No? So many of my students would be able to relate to that. And I bring in this stories, no, every now and then, because we can never tell if our audience today would still be our audience in several years later. No? And if we would make stories, no, eventually it will catch us up. So, putting that into proper perspective, ladies and gentlemen, by you sharing what really happened, by you delivering only honest and sincere stories, okay, by you showing integrity all the time, not only will you gain supporters, but you will also gain respect. Okay? So regardless of what stories you unfold, no, you will still have that respect coming from your audience. Okay? Next, skill. You should be able to identify where your heart is so you can optimize your potentials in public speaking. It is very important to know if you are already ready. It's always a good thing, no, to ascertain if you are ready to discuss this particular topic. It is always good, no, if you ascertain that you are prepared and ready. The skill is something that you can learn. Public speaking is a skill. No one is born a public speaker. That's how I personally look at it. But everyone can be trained to become an exceptional speaker. And since this is a skill, all you need to do now is to find it in your heart that you want this skill so much that you will commit yourself into practicing and optimizing your potentials. Because if you don't, you will never develop that skill that would let you become exceptional. Okay? Next, self confidence. You should have unwavering belief in your own abilities, skills, and traits. I cannot emphasize more how important it is that you become confident of how you are as a speaker. And to be able to have that confidence, you would first and foremost have to believe in you. Do not wait for people to believe in you. You have to learn to start believing in yourself that you can do it. You need to start telling yourself, I can do this. And you need to start committing yourself into doing this. So you'd have the skill to be able to deliver what is needed. Self-confidence is not just but about the attitude. It is also about the belief. The belief you invest in that person you see at the mirror every time you look into that mirror. Okay? Next. Eloquence. You should develop your ability to make language powerful, effective, and effective. This means that when we are talking about eloquence, we are also talking about our ability to choose the words that we would be using to explain ourselves. That we are able to not only choose the right words, but also use those chosen right words at the right time, at the right moment, with enough emphasis for it to be effective. We should never be robotic in our delivery, monotonous and all. Because that is never effective and effective. Okay? We would have to speak from the heart if we would want to be effective. And we would need to speak our mind if we would want to be effective. And to be able to do this, again, we go back to the premise that we need to commit ourselves into developing whatever skill level we have right now. So if you are a 3, a 4, a 7, an 8, regardless of your skill level, regardless of how you perceive your skill level to be, you practice so that you become more eloquent. You practice choosing the right words to say at the right moments, because everything is a matter of timing. If you are able to deliver the right words at the right time, in the right moment, you become exceptional. That you are on your way to becoming that exceptional speaker you would want to be. And of course, finally, ladies and gentlemen, self worth. You should be aware of how good you are as a speaker so that people would realize your competence. You do not need the affirmation of others. You first need to affirm that you are good. The affirmation starts from you. So, no, going back to the concept of practicing, no, never stop practicing. Say, for example, you would be delivering this particular topic right here. Never stop practicing delivering that topic until you ascertain that you are now good with that particular topic. Never be complacent. No? As I go about attending webinar after webinar, what I find what I find as an area or as a triggering factor for people to really, or for speakers for that matter, to separate themselves from their audience would be that hint that probably they feel that they aren't as good as they think they are. No? Unfortunately, we tend to, right at the middle of everything, it tends to hunt us. I am not as good as I think I am. And that should not be the case. No? And for us to be able to avoid this again, no, we would need to hone our skills. We would need to constantly practice until we can say, yes, this is it. This is how I would want this topic to be delivered. This is how I would want the stories to be incorporated. This is how I would want people to realize the things that I would want to say. Hence, you lead yourself to realizing your level of competence. That said, ladies and gentlemen, again, the attributes of an effective speaker would be knowledge, integrity, skill, self-confidence, eloquence, and self-worth. To make it short, to be an effective and exceptional speaker, you need to practice and have kisses. That would be all for today. Thank you very much. These are my sources. Thank you and be exceptional. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation. It has been very informative for us. Sir, it's now time for our quiz session. After
Sure.
completed, after completed,
Alrighty.
completed quiz session, we come back again in our question answer session. So you have to wait for some minutes. Dear participants, time for our quiz session. To join our quiz session, you have to go www.slido.com. Then you have to enter the code, and the code is IGP2. And the code is IGP2. After short video, we'll start our quiz session. In the meantime, don't forget to mention your friends to join our quiz session. So let's enjoy our quiz session. Already in our quiz session, dear participant, if you want to join in our quiz session, you have to enter the code, and the code is IGP2. And the code is IGP2. Already 29 people join in our quiz session. To join our quiz session, you have to go www.slido.com. Then you have to enter the code, and the code is IGP2. And we'll pick your name from Slido. So join with your full name. Now we'll run our quiz session. Already 31 people join. Now we'll start our quiz competition. Our first question: who is an exceptional public speaker? Option 1 Georgia, second option Ava. And the correct answer is option 1 Georgia, and 81% people are right. Now our top one is Jordan Joy. Then we have Safal, then we have Flami. Now we go for our second round question, and the question is a person who gives the speaker feedback. Option 1 manifest content, second option active listener. A person who gives the speaker feedback. Option 1 manifest content and active listener. What is the correct answer for this question? And the correct answer is option 2 active listener, and 85% people are right. And still our top one is Jordan. Then we have Jenny. Then we have Michelle Tarshina. Now we go for our third round question, and the question is who received NASA Exceptional Service Medal? Option 1 Roberta Bonder and Merce Garnio. Second option Charis Hadfield and Jolly Patty. Who received NASA Exceptional Service Medal? Roberta Bonder and second option Charis Hadfield and Julie. And now you can see our correct answer. And the correct answer is option 2, Cherries Hatfield and Jolie Pattin. And 32% people are right. And our top one is Evelyn. Then we have Lizel. Then we have Nima. Now we go for our fourth round question. And the question is Selena Gomez is an exceptional younger entrepreneur. Option 1, formal language. Second option, academic language. Selena Gomez is an exceptional young entrepreneur. Option is it option 1 or 2? Now you can see our correct answer, and the correct answer is option 1, formal language, and 74% people are right. Still, our top one is Evelyn, then we have R. Mary, then we have Nima. Fifth question: if the speaker is not directly in front of me, what should I do? Option 1 turn my body to face him or her. Second option just face the same way I am currently sitting. And now we can see the correct answer, and the correct answer is option 1 Run my body to face him or her, and 66% people are right. And now our top one is Barnasaur. Then we go for our sixth now question, and the question is: the astronaut is a photographer, neurologist, and a captivating and respected speaker. Option one: Julie Paiti. Then we have Roberta Bondar. Now we can see the correct answer, and the correct answer is option two: Roberta Bondar, and 41% people are right. Now our top one is Barnasar, then we have Michelle Tarashina, then we have Violeta. Now we go for our seventh question, and the question is: what is a speaker or character who tells the story called? Is it narrator or speaker? What is a speaker or character who tells the story called? Is it narrator or speaker? And the correct answer is narrator, and 94% people are right. Now our top one is again still Barnasser, then we have Michelle, then we have Rachel. It now question is: the most important part of empathic listening is making the speaker feel understood. Is it true or false? The most important part of empathic listening is making the speaker feel understood. Is it true or false? And the correct answer is true, and 94% people are right. Still, our top one is Panarsan. Now we go for our ninth count question, and the question is: in idealized influence, the leader models the exceptional behavior for others to emulate. Is it true or false? And the correct answer is true, and 91% people are right. Still, our top one is Barnasa, then we have Michelle, then we have Violeta. Now we go for last question, and the question is: a condition in which a person limited in mental ability has an exceptional specific skill. Option one: Down syndrome. Second option: Savant syndrome. And the correct answer is second option: Savant syndrome, and 35% people are right. Congratulations, Barnesser. He's our top one. Then we have Michelle Tarashina. Then we have Joel Barnesser. We we can't connect him because he joined with different names, so we can't count him in third position. In third position, we have Jordan Joy. In fourth position, we have Flomi Rago Salvio. Congratulations, our top 10 quiz competition winner. Today quiz competition winner. We have all of your name which you entered during joining. We will pick your name from Slido and prepare certificate and we post them on our Facebook official page. Our Facebook official page is Institution of Global Professional. Participate are request to ask their question in comment box. Please address speaker name. After short video, we will start our question answer session. So let's enjoy our question answer session. Dear participant, it's time for our question answer session. Let's welcome back our speaker. Sir, welcome back.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Dear participant, if you have any question, you can ask in our comment box.
Right. I believe there's the first question already posted on the
Yes,
comment
yes, sir.
box.
First question from Flomi. Good afternoon, sir. How can we overcome mental blocks in public speaking?
All right. Thank you for that question, Sir Flomi Salviejo. To answer that, number one, although all speakers actually experience mental block, no, I would like to say that for us to be able to overcome this is to look at it on a more scientific and medical way as much as possible. No? By that, what I mean to say is, uh, from the point of view of science and medicine, we speakers actually experience mental block because no, because we do not get the much needed oxygen our brain needs for it to actually work for us the way we want it to. All right. That said, okay, look again, no, with the with the perspective and mindset that is quite scientific and medical. No, what I tell my students and my learners would be, if and when you feel like you are already experiencing a mental block, you pause, you smile, don't think of anything yet. You breathe deeply, no? Breathe in, breathe out, gently, uh, and then try to rethink of the question or whatever it is that you are actually saying or explaining, no? And then let your mind do its wonders. No? It would be able to connect whatever it is that you are discussing before the mental block. Okay? So just in case, Sir Flomi, that you experience a mental block again, all you need to do is to pause for a while. Okay? Breathe in and breathe out. Okay? I have encountered a speaker saying, we as speakers experience mental block because we are too afraid to stop and have our pauses. Okay? Pauses are important because it allows us to supply our brains with the much needed oxygen. No? That being said, no, if again you experience that mental block, give yourself a pause, give yourself some few seconds to breathe in and breathe out, and things will work out just fine. Okay? Been there and done that, and well, the magic of oxygen works. Okay?
Thank you, sir. Sir, second question from Facebook is, sir, what is the secret of how to be the best public speaker? Because it is hard for me to catch my audience attention.
Okay. First, as we have already been mentioned in this presentation, we need to know ourselves. Okay? We would need to know ourselves, embrace our flaws, and then be better on it. Okay? Looking into the context as a speaker myself, this is why I am very much concerned with feedback. No? Feedback would tell me what I need to improve. So, to me, I would prefer people telling me that I missed this point in my discussion. I tend to overreact in this topic because probably I tend to become more personal on it, especially if my discussion is on socio-political issues, no? Or probably in a phase of my discussion, I gave too many examples. I take note of those. Okay, and by so doing, I am able to not only catch my audience's attention but also uh, hold them, no, as long as I could. Okay, so there is actually no secret, sir. No, there is, sir or ma'am, for that matter. There is no actual secret. And I believe it has been revealed in this presentation already. You have to practice, practice, and practice some more. And if you may, get yourself someone who you trust, no, a mentor perhaps, who you believe can uh, tell you what you need to improve on, no? Without you feeling so much disappointed of yourself. Okay, I think that would do the trick. Plus, of course, do not forget, no, to make sure you involve yourself in public speaking activities. You can never be able to be better unless you expose yourself to such activities. This to us would always be a constant practice. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Uh, Thank you, sir, for your wonderful presentation. It has been very excellent presentation, and please accept thanks for taking out the time from your busy schedule to present your slides. I know that everyone sitting there is fascinated by your presentation. Those slides gives everyone a great idea about the exceptional speaker, and we get a lot of information in one place. Again, I would like to offer our thanks for for telling us for your wonderful presentation, and I think everyone can learn and enjoy the webinar. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you too. It's been an honor and a privilege to be again invited by the Institute of Global Professionals and to share my knowledge with soon to be exceptional speakers. Thank you
Okay,
very much again and have a wonderful afternoon.
thank you, sir. Dear Persever, it's time for to give you webinar code. Today our topic is the exceptional speaker, the and the code is IGP 9009044, and the code is IGP 90444. Dear participant, without code no one is eligible for certificates, and with code you can claim your certificates anytime. Dear participant, now it's time for goodbye. Thank you everyone for your active participation. We hope everyone can learn from our webinar and enjoy our session. See you in our next session. Till then, stay happy and blessed. Once again, I'm Yarni Sakhtar from Bangladesh.